In this video I want to share with you everything you need to know when going on holiday to Son Bou in Menorca, and also if you haven't booked yet, this is a great video to find out if Son Bou is actually the right holiday destination for you or not. In this video I'm also going to share with you some tips that will save you a lot of money, also a few small things to watch out for, and as well loads of tips that will make your holiday in Menorca in general even better.
Son Bou has a very long and large beach. It is one of the more natural beaches as well. There are other more natural beaches even, but they are harder to reach. This is one of the more natural ones that is easy to reach as well. On the hotel side, the beach has some development with sun loungers, lifeguards and beach bars. Away from the hotels is basically just one large nature reserve. This is also the best place to do some snorkeling, as the beach and the sea here are basically untouched. When it comes to hotels in Son Bou, know that there are two that I can most advise here. These are the Royal Son Bou Family Club and the other one is the Sol Milanos Pinguinos. They're also very centrally located near the bars and near the beach. There's also some other hotels here that I cannot advise because they're located too far away. The hotels you're seeing on the screen right now are from another video of mine where I discussed the best hotels in Menorca. I visited 80 of the best ones and picked the 15 best ones. So if you're still looking for a hotel in Menorca, then I can definitely advise you to have a look at that video or have a look on my website at checkedholidays.com, where I also keep always an up-to-date list of the best hotels in Menorca. You can book today and know for sure you made a great choice. So what is there to see and do near Son Bou? Well, first of all, Santo Tomas is just next door, so if you want to explore a little bit of a different holiday destination or a different beach during your holiday, just know that this is an easy walk away. Also near Santo Tomas you will find the Son Martorellet show. This is kind of like a horse show. I must say I personally haven't been there, but I heard a lot of people say a lot of good things about it, especially for families with children. This is definitely something that they would advise. Then a short drive away you also have the Montaña del Toro. This is the biggest mountain in the center of the island, from where you can have a great view over the island. You can see all the resorts and all the holiday destinations on the island from here. So this is definitely something I would advise you to visit. It's free. There's also like a little bar, tavern, restaurant up there, and also a little chapel and cathedral to visit. So if you want to do any of these, definitely head on the Montaña del Toro. Also close by to Son Bou you have the Coves d'en Charrois. You can visit these in the daytime, it's quite nice. In the evening and the weekend it becomes more like a bar slash restaurant slash nightclub. So if you just want to have a little bit of a look at the caves, then it's best to go in the daytime. If you want to see the great parties they put up here, then definitely go here in the evening. This might actually be one of the best places on the island for a great night out. Also near Son Bou you find Mahon, which is the capital of Menorca. You can see a lot of things here. There's different cathedrals, but there's also markets. You can take little tours of the harbor by boat. There's little markets here, great restaurants, tapas you can try here. So definitely something I would advise, especially if you're into culture or you want to see a bit more about how the local people live in Menorca. This is a great place to go and visit. All these things are pretty close by, but one thing I can definitely advise you to rent a car in Menorca, like I did. Renting a car in Menorca, if you do it the right way, is actually quite cheap. For me, my car came down because I always rent it with a fully comprehensive insurance to about less than 20 euros a day. So basically saying you have no liability and no responsibility unless you do something really stupid. But if you get into an accident, you're fully covered. 20 euros a day, great deal. If you don't want to have that, if you have your own private insurance that covers this, then it's only 12 euros a day, so definitely something I would advise. If you are interested in renting a car, then do have a look at my website where I have all the companies I would advise. There's also some not so good companies that I definitely would not advise because they do a lot of upselling and things like this. To get the right price and a great service, have a look on my website checkedholidays.com/cars, where I keep all the links to the companies I would advise using. When it comes to restaurants in Son Bou, there's not so many hotels, but there's quite a few restaurants to choose from here. Quite a large selection and variety when it comes to budget, but also when it comes to different styles of cuisine. You can find it here. There's not a lot of restaurants, but what is here is quite high quality and also a good variety. Also on the beach you will find two places to eat overlooking the sea and the beach. So when is the right time for you to visit Son Bou, and how will be the weather at that time? Well, November and December I definitely would not go because it's rainy and cold. January, February, March and April in Menorca are also very cold months. Normally towards the end of April you could take a little bit of a risk, but I wouldn't. Definitely not when you're going to Son Bou, because everything in Son Bou pretty much will be closed these months. The month of May is normally the first month that the weather is starting to get much better, and that also most of the hotels in Menorca start to open up. Know that at the beginning of the month there might still be some things closed here and there, and it can still also be a little bit windy, but it's also at the beginning of May that you can find insane deals, really good and cheap deals on the island. So if you're looking for a budget holiday and you are willing to take a little bit of a risk on the weather, at the beginning of May this might be a great time. I think the best month to visit Menorca is normally June and September, because prices are reasonable, it's not too busy on the island, and the temperature all over is normally really good. It's a really nice summer days in Menorca around this time. If you're traveling to Son Bou in July and August, then do know that it can get very hot, and some days can even feel very humid and a little bit too hot. But still, normally this is the hottest weather on the island, the least rain and the most sun. So if you really want a beach holiday or a pool holiday, these could be great times to come. Do know that this is also normally the busiest time on the island, so expect it to be a little bit crowded on the beach and also in the hotels. Menorca is a really nice place, but there's a few small things I do want to give you a warning about. This is if you're traveling from the beginning of October till the ending of May, anywhere in this period, it can get quite windy. So if you're traveling in this period, definitely bring a jumper or a jacket. Especially in the evening, it gets quite cold on these windy days. Because of the wind, it can also sometimes feel like it's not as hot as it really is, or the sun ain't shining that hot. I travel to a lot of different places, always sunny places. I don't easily get burned, but in Menorca I did get burned. Simply said, put on sunscreen no matter if it feels hot or not, because otherwise you might get an unpleasant surprise. Menorca the last few years has been having a bit of a problem with jellyfish. Just like the other Balearic Islands, there's coming more and more jellyfish. Many of the jellyfish are quite harmless. The other ones, they do cause a pretty bad sting. So always check before in the water if you see any jellyfish. If you're not 100% sure, talk to the lifeguard, or also at the lifeguard tower they always have information if there's any jellyfish or not. So what is the best way of getting from the Mallorca Airport to Son Bou? Well, actually there's quite a few ways, but the first way would be to take the public bus or the public transportation. This, however, I would not advise, because it's quite difficult, especially if you're traveling with small children or a lot of luggage, because first you will have to take the bus to Mahon. There you have to transfer onto another bus that will take you to Son Bou. Both these buses together will cost you €5. So it's quite a hassle. I wouldn't do it. It's not really the best way to start your holiday. Another way, and I think a better way, is just to book a shuttle bus before online. These ones, they will take you to your hotel reception, not at some random bus stop, and you also don't have to transfer. So they're much easier, especially if you're traveling with a lot of luggage or small children. These come in at around 10 or 11 euros, so a little bit more pricey, but you do get a lot of extra services with it. So for this reason, definitely, if you're traveling on a budget, the best way I would advise you to get to your hotel. If you are traveling 3 or 4 people, then the easiest and best way is just to take a taxi. A taxi will cost you around 29 euros. It changes a little bit depending if it's weekend or it's night, then they do get a little bit more expensive. For shuttle buses or taxis, I would always advise you to book before online, especially to have a locked-in price so you don't get any unpleasant surprises. And the shuttle buses you have to book before online, because without a reservation you can't get any in the airport. You can find all the companies I would advise on my website at checkedholidays.com/links. So before I continue, I quickly also want to add a little bit of a cheeky tip. This is, I have many more videos covering Menorca here on my channel on YouTube. If you want to find all of those as easy as possible, then don't forget to click the subscribe button. But also about all the other Balearic Islands and Canary Islands, all the islands in Spain, I also have other videos. If you want to find out more about those, also hit that subscribe button to find those even more easy. If you're not 100% sure that this is the right holiday destination for you on Menorca, I would advise you to have a look here on my website, where I have a quick comparison of all the different holiday destinations on Menorca, how they are like, and which one is the right one for you. If you just want to watch some other videos, then these are some other videos of mine covering Menorca that you can watch.